Yes, we're live. I guess we're live.
You're live?
Please check.
Yes, we are live in CA Foundation channel.
And
Hello, everybody. I hope all of you all are doing really good. So today we have with us Ram Satvat and he has scored an AIR 18. सबसे पहले Ram, a big congratulations to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
So Ram, like AIR 18 is really big. And all of us are so happy and we feel so blessed that we have students like you who work so hard, and to score AIR 18 is such a big thing. First of all, were you expecting a rank?
Ma'am, so to be honest, initially when I gave my first few papers, specifically for our attempt, accounts and costing was pretty hard. So initially, like once they gave me accounts paper, I came back home and I wasn't feeling very confident about it. And I was like, I prepared so hard for like the last 9 months, and the first paper itself kind of threw me off. But like I just like decided to put that out of my mind and study consistently. And overall, group one was okay-ish, but then like group two worked out really well for me. So I didn't want to expect anything, to be honest, because I'd given it my best and I knew that I couldn't have done anything better. It's not like I could have gone back and said maybe I could have studied more, nothing like that. So I was like, okay, let's just hope for the best. I knew I would clear both groups definitely, and I was expecting a score of like 550-ish, and I would have been happy with the rank. But to be honest, I wasn't really expecting a rank.
Okay. All right. That's wonderful. So, Ram, first of all, we would want that please tell everybody, because so many people are listening to you, what subjects have you done from Unacademy and what was your strategy like?
So I studied law from you, ma'am, and I studied costing from Pranav sir, and I studied economics from Mohnish sir. And mostly, like I got introduced to an academy through YouTube, but later on, I saw that the method of teaching they used was very good and useful for me, so I decided to like go ahead and learn with them. Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
That's great. So before we proceed, तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं जो हमारे सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं उन लोगों को एक बात बताना चाहता हूँ. देयर इज समथिंग डिफरेंट कि व्हाई आर वी टॉकिंग इन इंग्लिश, बिकॉज वी टीच इन हिंदी एंड ही हैज टेकन आवर क्लासेस. उसके बाद भी हम लोग अभी इंग्लिश में बात कर रहे हैं, विच मीन्स ही इज नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी. फिर उसने क्लासेस कैसे करी होंगी? सो ये एक बहुत ही स्पेशल बात है यहाँ पर जो हम लोगों को पता चली राम से डिस्कस करके कि दैट ही डोंट नो हिंदी, बट इन द क्लासेस जो मेथोडोलॉजी थी, जहां पर ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि दूसरी बातें हम ज्यादा नहीं करते थे, वी वर स्टिक टू द टेक्निकल सब्जेक्ट एंड क्वेश्चंस एंड अदर थिंग्स. So he was able to understand the subject very clearly. Am I right, Ram? Were you able to understand the Hindi classes
Yes,
also?
sir. Yes.
So
sir. Yes,
that's
sir.
why we are talking right now in English, but he has taken the classes in Hindi. So our entire interview will be in English because we don't understand Hindi very well. But that's the beauty, that language is not also the barrier. And we have taken the classes for Hindi students, but still if the methodology is good and if a student wants to learn something, then there is a will, there is a way. So that's a clear example here about Ram. So Ram, before we proceed, I want to ask you some personal questions like where are you from and who are there in your family, what your father do, something about yourself.
So actually, I'm from Sivakasi, which is in Tamil Nadu, and I did my schooling in Coimbatore, and currently I'm studying in Chennai. And I have a sister. She is currently studying in Columbia University in New York. And my father, he's into business, and my mom, she runs a preschool. So that's my family in short.
Okay, so they are at Shiva Kashmir, right?
Yes, sir.
And for studies, currently you are at Chennai, as we
Chennai.
discussed.
Yes, sir.
That's great. So, guys, he is doing regular college, and along with the regular college, he has given the CA Intermediate both group and scored AIRT. So, a big round of applause in the chat box. I guess it deserves.
Thanks.
Yes, Mohnish, over to you.
yes, so Ram, firstly, please tell students that what was your overall strategy for CA Inter and when did you exactly started studying for the same, And how much time did you, till what time did you complete your classes, and what was the time which you took for revision? Please, if you can tell.
So actually, the moment I joined college, I started studying for CA Foundation. I knew that at the end of my first year, I would be giving my foundation exams.
Okay.
But to be honest, foundation exams, I did my schooling in an ISC based school. So given that that was my syllabus, foundation exams weren't very hard for me as such. So I felt instead of just studying for foundation continuously, I could devote more time to inter. So I just picked like 2, 3 subjects like audit and tax, and I just started studying those during my second semester from college and other sources.
Okay.
So once I started doing that, I realized that inter was pretty hard, and it was like a huge jump from foundation because the subjects are new, everything is new, the level of sums are also new. So I knew that I would have to devote much more time to it. So actually, I started in 2022 February approximately. That was when I started studying for inter. So that gave me like more than a year's time to prepare for inter. So I gave my foundation exams in June and I cleared foundation. But throughout, even before I cleared my foundation exams, I actually started studying for inter. And once I cleared foundation, yeah, that gave me like, so I got a good score in foundation. And when I saw my score, I realized that if I did put in a little more effort, maybe I can push for a really good score in inter too. And so I started studying for inter, and my schedule was like, so college for me starts at 8 in the morning and it goes on till 3:30 in the evening. And so it used to be pretty intense. So like if I had a subject in college which wasn't exactly a CA subject, I would find it like maybe I would like to spend my time doing some other subject. So it was a little hard for me to focus on all subjects at the same time.
Right.
So I used to like wake up, study for a while, and then go to college. Get back in the evening, then I would go play for a while, do some workouts for like another 2 hours or something, and then get back home and study till like 10. And I used to go to bed early because I used to wake up at like 5 in the morning. So that was like my schedule for like the past 9 months. And finally, like my college gave me vacations to go study for my exams, and that's when like I really pushed it. So that was like maybe the last 45 days as such, which I think is what makes the most difference. No matter how much you study, it's like then those few days right before the exams will what will really matter. And over then, like by the time it was the last 45 days, I think I had come to the point where I was only doing past papers and MTPs and RTPs. I would time myself for like specific problems. And like instead of if I felt I was good at a chapter, I would just ignore it and just keep working on things I wasn't good at. And I felt that really paid off. So.
Yeah, so I can see that you have emphasized on RTPs, MTPs, and PYQs. That is very important, and mostly students could not clear CA inter exams right now. Major reason was that they couldn't even complete the syllabus. So some students are not even able to complete the study material, and so RTP, MTP is not even possible if you're not covering syllabus fully. So I guess that planning is very important, as you said, and you also started very early the preparation of CA inter. So that's a big point which students generally don't do, right? And an academy also brings these warm up batches so that students can start early before the results also. So that also may help the students. And yes, I guess that we can go now subject specific. If Deepika ma'am, you can please ask about audit.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल yes
Sorry,
sir.
law subject, right? Yeah.
Law, sorry, yeah. So first of all, I'm amazed by the fact, Ram, like you started preparing for your CA inter before giving CA foundation. That's a very interesting thing for me to hear this thing because I've never heard that from anybody. Now I would say that it's like believing in yourself that I will clear CA foundation and I will go in CA inter, and that is why you're planning it in a way. So first of all, it's commendable, and that kind of confidence everybody should have in themselves. That is when you believe in yourself, that is when you score such marks. Sabse pehle, I think everybody should believe in themselves because everybody can do it. It's about proper planning. And Ram, you're a big example of that. Now we will focus on the subjects. Okay, Ram, so you've studied law from me. First of all, I would want to know, and every student to know, law being a theory subject, right? Everybody faces some or the other kind of problem in theory. I would want to ask you, what was your strategy for theory and how has my classes helped you during your preparation, what was the best thing about it, and what was your strategy like? How did you prepare with the classes?
Yes, ma'am. So actually, during my foundation exams, so only accounts and law and English were written subjects as such. So actually, once I gave my foundation exams after studying from college and a bit of self-study, like I just got 60 in law, and like I wasn't really satisfied with that because I felt I had written like much better answers. But then that's when I realized like CA, the institute is very strict with grading in terms of theory subjects as such. So students will definitely know that subjects like EIS, audit, and law are very hard to score in. So I wanted to know like where I had to change the way I was answering, and I realized that just the way I was structuring my answers made a huge difference. And see, interlaw as such, there's actually a lot to remember. Sections need to be remembered. Even though they tell you that you don't need to write sections, I mean, I'm sure students know if you write the section numbers, it gives you a sense of it gives you a feeling that your answer is better, right? So I mean, so I started looking at your classes on YouTube first, ma'am, and I used to like the bullet revision and such
Amazing.
videos because the notes you used specifically, it was like in 5 minutes you could finish 5 to 10 minutes, you could get like a brief of an entire chapter. So since I was writing both groups, it played a huge role because out of like the few hours I got outside college hours, I had to study like all 8 papers. So I needed like an efficient way to study. So the notes were like, it played like a huge role because I would just be like, okay, today I'm doing these 3 chapters. Let me just glance through the notes and I would just like retain all the key points. And for law, that was actually more than enough because for foundation law, it was a bit different, but interlaw is mainly case law based. So those points are like sufficient to give good answers. And I think that's what made the big difference.
Wow. I'm so happy. When you mentioned the notes, I think I'm on cloud nine already. Over to you, Pranav sir.
Yeah. So Ram, before we go to the detailed discussion on costing, first of all, I want to tell the marks of each subject that he has scored in the entire 8 subjects. So you will get to know that, yeah, this is also possible in CA intermediate exams. So let me tell you the marks. In accounts, he scored 67. In law, he scored 74. In costing, he scored 83. In taxation, he scored 79. This is group 1, which is total 303. And now comes the main climax. Group 2, advanced accounting 84, auditing 83, financial management and economics for finance 84, and EISSM 80. Which means in group 2, he has scored 80 plus in every subject.
Amazing.
Every. This is amazing. This is insane. 331 in group 2 and in total 634 out of 800. So this is the benchmark, guys. लोग कहते हैं कि ग्रुप 2 में अच्छा स्कोर नहीं आ सकता, ग्रुप 2 पर ही सबको रैंक देता है, बट दिस इज कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट. Yeah, group 2 is way higher than group 1 here. So yes. Let's come to costing, Ram. So you explain by yourself what was your journey of costing. How did you get to this YouTube and why you converted to then an academy subscription, and what was the difference, and how was your entire journey of costing as such?
Yes, sir. So actually, like you mentioned, like I don't understand Hindi. So I think many South Indian students will know specifically on YouTube or such or any other learning platform, people who do videos in English, it's very few actually. It's like a niche almost.
Yeah.
So that I realized, but that shouldn't be the reason I wasn't studying because the resources like educators like Unacademy provided was like really good. So apart from the language, I felt like I really should be doing something online because I realized many students were doing that and it worked out for them. So I just decided to try watching videos. And like I mentioned before, sir, like so when I used to watch a video, instead of listening to the educator, I would just focus on the slides. And when it was problem based, that's when I found out that it was really useful because after a while you don't feel like you don't know the language because as long as you get to understand how the sum is being solved, that's what makes a difference. And for costing specifically, sir, actually I saw one of your videos on standard costing and how you explain standard costing specifically because that was what I found hardest in costing and it's very tricky to understand. But the way you explained it, like I mean that really made a huge difference because that was like the only chapter I was lagging behind in costing. Overall costing I found okay, but standard costing, the way you taught it, I was like, okay, I'm doing something wrong with the way I'm learning here. So maybe I should check out what this has to offer, right? So I started watching the YouTube videos, and then since I was able to solve the sums, then I decided to like take a subscription, and after that I would have seen most of the chapters. And costing, like you had like a very problem oriented approach, sir, which like I really enjoyed, because I think that is what is very key for inter exam specifically, because like the ICI module is like everything you need. If you do that, it's like you're kind of set. And I think that was what helped me the most, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. So really great, yeah. I think we should now pass on, sir.
Yeah.
So over to you, MD, sir.
Yeah. So Ram, you told that that costing subject is a practical subject, right? So even if you don't understand what sir was teaching in theory part, but while doing solving practical, it helps a lot. The way the methodology of solving sums. But in EFF, right? EFF is full theory, right? There are there are some practical portions also. So how did you cover EFF from me, and how did you come to know about my classes of for EFF? Please, if you can tell.
So actually, even during my foundation exam, so I have seen your videos for economics, even for foundation. So, but that was during like the very last few days of my prep. So I used to watch it at home, and I used to watch it in like 2x speed actually. And like my parents used to find it very amusing because they knew I don't know Hindi. And like I'm watching Hindi videos in like 2x speed, it's like very funny. So I mean, so I used to do that, and like after that I knew, okay, so the way you covered MCQs and the notes as such, I think you used to write problems and used to explain with examples a lot, sir.
Right.
So that like helped me to understand specific terms and like words being used in the subject. So EFF and even the books you had, so the compiler series, that was like, I mean, for EFF, I realized that since it's a small subject, but it would like help me getting a lot of marks in paper, right? Because financial management is a bit hard.
Yeah.
So I knew that I had to study for it in like a smart manner, not so I didn't study it on a regular basis.
Okay.
And that's why like the compiler series was very useful, because I just spent like a couple of days with it, and that like gave me like everything I needed. It didn't feel like I didn't study the module at all actually. Like the module I would have done it in my college maybe once, but during the entire 8 papers that I would have given, I would have never looked at the economics module at all, and your book was all I used, sir.
So did you also watch the plus classes on an academy platform?
Yes, a few classes I would have seen, not for all, but specific chapters which I would have found hard. For those, I would have seen the sessions, sir.
You must have.
And actually, since I was attending college, I used to watch recorded sessions mainly.
Okay. Amazing. So,
I think in Eco and EFF, he is using MD sir's note as subtitles.
Amazing. And so, any last minute tips which you wish to give to your juniors now, right?
In
many,
general,
many students would be giving their CA Inter exams now in November 23. So any tips from your side that I'll give you some context that right now students would be confused about giving single group or both group, or how to cover their syllabus in around 3 to 3.5 months. So anything related to that, if you can please help your juniors now.
So and what it takes to get an AIR, huh? One more. What it takes to get an AIR.
Sure, please.
Okay. So actually, like from my personal experience, I feel like I studied consistently for like 9 months. But despite me having studied everything, and like I didn't leave out any of the chapters, I studied everything, and like I did it consistently as well. But what made the biggest difference in my study plan was actually writing and solving sums, because I used to have this tendency where for practical subjects I will look at an illustration and I'd be like, I've done this before, or I've understood it, and I would skip it. And when I actually attempted it during an MTP or RTP, I would solve it, but it would take me like half an hour or 40 minutes. And I realized that's where I was going wrong, because even for my first paper, accounts, I made like I left a lot of questions and I wasn't able to complete the paper, and that's when I realized that that was what I lacked during my prep, because I never like wrote sums and practiced. So writing sums without looking at the answers, without looking at any hint, and getting it correct is like the biggest confidence boost you can get. Right. Because even just doing one costing sum correct, or just writing one theory question correct, gives you a lot of confidence, even if it's just from a small chapter, just a 3-mark question or anything. But that gives you the confidence that you can attempt questions on your own, rather than just blindly reading the book or just watching videos or watching others solve questions for you. You need to like write it and time it specifically. I think that will be the big thing. And as ma'am, you asked, like, I didn't specifically plan for a rank or anything. I just like hope for a best score. And I think if you study consistently, it is possible. It's not very hard to do, but like I said, you just have to be consistent with your work. It's not like one day you study 2 hours, next day 10 hours. Just maintain a schedule. That way you can do it without feeling like you're tiring yourself out also. It'll just be like a process where you study and at the end it works for you. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ram. So, I guess any more questions from Deepika ma'am or Pranav sir? Can we wrap up? Yes. So, thank
Yes,
you
sir.
so much, Ram, and we hope that you will score a rank in CA finals also now. And all the best for your
Thank you so
journey
much.
of articleship now, because articleship is also a very, very important integral part of becoming a chartered accountant. And now, since the time period of articleship has also reduced to 2 years, so I wish and I pray that you learn all the great things regarding to our field, and you become a great knowledgeable chartered accountant very soon, right? So congratulations again from our whole
Thank you,
team
sir.
from an academy, and all the best for your future.
All the
Thank
best.
you very much, sir.
All the
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
best.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank